Hey Crafty friends, I'm Peggy and welcome to my studio. A little while back I shared a video response to Crystal at I'm Busy Crafting for a challenge that she had put out, and along with my entry I had sent her the gift of an embellishment book. And between my VR and when she received it and showed it on her channel, there have been a few requests to show how to make it. I had also sent a different style to another friend, which I also had requests on that one. So I've got a few ideas, different styles. So we're going to call this one Embellishment Book 1. So let's get going. The first thing that you'll need are 2 pieces of chipboard that are 5 by 8. And I've already covered this one, so let me put that aside. You'll also need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 7 by 10. I like to give myself like an inch around all the sides, just for a pretty good wrap on my chipboard. On the back, you're going to want to cover your chipboard with a good amount of tape so it will stick. And be sure when you're using any kind of tape, just be sure to burnish it down with your bone folder, just to make sure that you get really good adhesion between the tape and your surface. Okay, let's see. So how is everybody doing? I hope you're all staying safe during our voluntary quarantine. And hopefully it will be over shortly. I've just been keeping busy crafting and having allergy issues. I don't know, my allergies have been really bad through all this, which is really strange. But what I'd like to know is what all of you have been working on, keeping yourself busy. So let me know in the comments below what kind of crafts you've been doing, and if not crafting, what else have you been doing just to keep yourself busy and occupied. All right, once our tape is off, we're going to carefully try to center this. And I'm sorry, but I'm like an overhead crafter, so if you happen to see my head, I apologize. Let's see. Try to get it as pretty good center as you can. And then just rub that down just to get good. A good bond. There we go. Okay. And the first thing I like to do is to start to work my edges of my paper. So I'll just bring it up along the side like this and just kind of start burnishing it in. So just to get the paper going and get it kind of trained as to where it's going to be heading for the rest of its life, basically. Okay, let's see. And just carefully, depending on your paper, this will also help to keep it from cracking. Okay, when I get to that point, now a lot of people cut their corners now of their paper, but I prefer to put my tape down first. So I like to make sure I get good coverage from every inch of the paper. So let's see. First thing that I do, I put a piece of tape down my chipboard, and whoop, this is my handy dandy tape cutter. It's a good old McDonald's gift card, which I actually think it still has like 30 or 40 cents on this. Anyway, when I put my tape down on the paper, I never go to the ends because you're going to cut it off anyway. But I kind of line it up with the end of my chipboard. Just try to waste, a little less amount of tape. Believe me, when I started, I used to go all the way to the end, and I couldn't figure out why my tape was running out so quickly. There you go. Okay. I'm going to do all 4 sides. And if you don't want to use double-sided tape, I mean, you could use glue. You just need to make sure that it's a really good, strong bonding glue. I use either art glitter glue, or another one I've been using lately because I've seen a few people that I follow here using reptile glue, and it seems to work pretty good. I've also been seeing the barely art glue. I don't know if you guys have been seeing it on other channels that people have been trying out. I can't wait to try that one out. It looks like it's really good as well. So I'm always looking for a good product at an affordable price, because we all know that paper crafting is not a cheap hobby. And anywhere you can save pennies, especially these days, you need to do it. Okay. There's that last piece there. Let me get my bone folder. And this is a pencil style bone folder. It's not like the best for burnishing, but I love this for scoring. And I just can't find my other one right now. But it's made of Teflon, and I got it on Amazon, and I love this thing. It is pretty awesome. Okay, let's see. Okay, now for those corners. Let me get that pair of scissors. What you want to do, you can either cut across this way and leave like 1/8 of an inch between the corner of your paper, or I just kind of go in this way to like the corner, and then I just kind of make a little curve there and cut the other side off. However you do it, you just want to leave about 1/4 of an inch of paper, not 1/4, 1/8 of an inch of paper, but there, just enough to cover the corners, but not have too much bulk over there. Okay. All right. Now when I'm removing tape, I usually do my long sides first. For me, it's easier, but whatever way works best for you, go for it. Oh, goodness. I'm just, in this video, I'm just going to show how to make the book and how to decorate it. I'm not going to make the embellishments. That is going to come in another video for a very special reason, and you guys will see why coming up. Okay, just gently take your paper, gently wrap it right over that side. It's going to go easier because we've already burnished it in. There's one side. Turn her around. And I can't tell you how many times I have forgotten to take these pieces of tape off. And oops, sorry if I just shook the camera. And it never fails. It's like the last end that I'm doing. I see it and go, great. Oh well, it's done now. I'm just folding a little bit of these over just to make sure I get stuck down really good. See up there, I missed it a little bit. But it's not a big deal. It pulls right out, but just easier to kind of take care of it beforehand. Again, pulling that over, getting that down nice and secure. Now on the ends, you'll notice that it kind of looks like it sticks out here. So what you're going to do is either with your nails or a bone folder or whatever you happen to have handy, I usually push down along the end this way. And then you can either take your bone folder or your nail and kind of come up this way and kind of just push that in, so you're getting a pretty good tight corner. If you do it with your nail, you just push it this way. Which I'm having a hard time doing today. There we go. Just in a little bit so that it folds over really well. And you don't have little pieces sticking out the sides. And if you do, that can be fixed anyway. It's not a big deal. It's only paper, right? Okay. Let's turn around and do the other side. Okay. So I'm just going to push down and just in a little bit. Just to get rid of those sharp corners. Okay. And you can also just, if there are if it is poking out a little bit, you can just tap the corners like this. I saw Eve with scrapbooking with me. She does that all the time, and it works really, really well. Just kind of round those corners off a little bit. Oh, sorry, guys. Didn't mean to make you seasick there. Okay. The next piece that we're going to need is our spine. And it is 5 inches by 1 1/4. And Just lost my train of thought completely. Okay, what we're gonna do is you want to have, and I just learned this recently, in between your spine and your covers, you want to have 2 times the width of your chipboard so that it will bend nicely. And I have actually made myself this little tool. It's just chipboard, and I made like the base, and then there's one other piece glued here, so it's 2 pieces thick, which is about 1/8 of an inch, and this side has 4, so it's just about 1/4 of an inch. And I gotta get a drink, sorry guys. And it works pretty good. So I've already measured here to make sure I have 1/8 of an inch between my spine and my tape there. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna take each piece. Now this is my way. I like binding this way, rather than like wrapping everything like in white and then covering it. Sometimes I do that for albums, but for me this works the easiest, and I like this way because it looks really, really clean when you're done. Okay. When you are putting something down on tape, you can take some of your glue and just put a little bit over the tape, and it kind of gives you some wiggle room so you can maneuver a little bit in case you need to. Okay, we'll take our side that is up. Trying to get the best angle so I can see what I'm doing. Not easy. Okay, and like I said, I already know that that is 1/8 of an inch away. So I just want to make sure I'm even at the ends here. Okay, just to make sure. Slide that in a little bit. There we go. There's one. Let's do the other. Just take our backing off. Guys, it's pretty early, so I do apologize if I'm rambling and if this kind of seems a little funky. this tutorial is a little funky. Because it's pretty early in the morning. Okay. So again, like I said, you would take it this way. Line up. And just make sure that everything is square and even. There we go. And push that down. Okay. And I forgot to tell you that, sorry about this. The paper covering the spine is 7 by 3 1/4. I always give an inch border around just to have enough to wrap with. And we're going to do the same here. We're just going to kind of work them up and over, our sides up and over. Alrighty. Says everybody else getting antsy and when you get out of the house. I have had cabin fever. I get out like maybe 1 day a week to go do some shopping, and it's it's driving me kind of cuckoo. Anyway, I don't want to make this video all about that though. So let's just have some fun. What do y'all think? Okay. This one. A piece of fuzz. Okay. Now you can do is in between here, you can kind of start to work your paper a little bit to start getting your spine pushed, or the paper pushed in between your spine and cover. And that helps your paper not to crack. Again, because I know we've all cracked paper. It's just inevitable. It happens every time. So, well, not every time, but it happens to everybody at least once. But there are also ways to cover that up. Okay, there we go. Now the next piece that we're going to work on is the binding system. So we put this. Okay, so our binding system. You're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 5 inches by 8 3/4. And this is going to hold 4 clear bags that we're going to put embellishments into. So you'll need to score at 1 3/4, at 2, 2 1/2, at 3, 3 1/4, 3 3/4, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, 5, 5 1/2, 5 3/4, 6 1/4, 6 3/4, and 7. I will put the measurements for everything down below in the description, so if you didn't catch all that, don't worry. Okay. Now, when I made crystals, it was a lot more involved. I did the best way I could think of, but since then, from the person who I saw about measuring the width of your chipboard pieces, I saw the same way to make a new type of hinge for something like that. So that's what this will be. What you're going to do now is where the 2½ inches are that form the mountains, you pinch those together like this, and then we're going to take it, now where our one score is here, we're going to fold over, and we're going to fold over this way. Okay. Then grab your next mountain, pull that up, and again, avoiding the gusset, well, right at the gusset score line is where you're going to fold over. This way. We're going to fold back. We're going to do this with all of them. So now here's the third mountain. We're going to fold right on that gusset line that way. And then again, fold this way. And our last one, and I missed that one. I got it. Okay. The last one, I'm going to fold our mountain up. And then back against that, whoop, that one valley score, and over on this side. Okay, now normally when you are doing a system like this for binding, you would turn it around upside down and you would glue the mountains together on the back. We're not going to do that for this. Okay, what we are going to do though is let's get these score lines a little better. What am I looking for? I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. Burnish. There you go. So we're going to take, it's easier to do it from this side. Okay. Back on the front, take the mountain, fold it over, and we're going to burnish that down. Again, at this score line, fold this next one over, burnish it down. Do that with all of them. And there's a reason, because it's going to make our next job a bit easier. Okay, now I'm avoiding these last score lines on each end. That's kind of where our book is folding, so that's just going to try to help it fold a little bit easier. But now we're going to take these and flip them over. Okay, so now they're heading that way, but everything is all nice and tidy. Now for this part, I usually take something that's a bit heavy. Let me do. Okay, my messy paper clips. Just to hold that down, it makes it a little bit easier. We're going to take score tape, read double-sided tape, and tape from one score line over to the other to secure these together. As you do the ends first. So we're only putting tape on the valley bottoms, not on our mountains. Okay. And then you just need tape in between. And this, I usually just do this way, because it's already secured on the ends. So it makes it a little bit easier going long ways. It's kind of hard to do a little short piece sometimes. We do this end. And then this one, whoop. I'm just flinging stuff everywhere now, aren't I? This, you definitely want to cover the entire back of where your score lines are. You're going to need a really tight, secure tape. Not secure bond. There you go. Then we're going to take and put tape down on the rest. These are the ends that are going to secure it in the book a little bit better. And these, I don't cover them completely. Just put kind of one on the top, one on the bottom. And then I come back and put one in the middle to secure that down. So I hope you guys are still here with me. If you are, I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you'll know every time I upload a video. And also like this video because it will help me grow my channel since I'm pretty... Last piece. Okay. And we are going to take a bone folder and burnish all of this down. Okay. Make sure it's good and secure. Now, the video I saw, she did this once it was in her book, but I am... That's a little too much for me. So, okay, so now we've turned it over. We're going to take this part, fold it under, so that you have your fins in this way and they're all even, separated. And what you're going to do is take a pair of scissors and very carefully just cut the end or the top of each mountain off. What we're doing is we're separating them to make it into like a little... We want to open all of those up, so I'm going to turn that under. Bring up my next one. You can use a cutting board or whatever, a paper trimmer I mean, or whatever you like. I just do better with scissors. So... Okay, just a couple more to go. Like I said, this is a lot easier than the original one that I made. But you know what? That's the thing about paper crafting, is you live and you learn from your mistakes and other ideas and whatnot. So, it's an ever-evolving art. Okay, now they're all open. Supposedly, they're all open. They are. Okay, now what we need to do... Get that out of the way, is take thinner score tape, and you need to put tape on both sides of your inner mountains. Does that make sense? Because these are what's going to secure the clear bags. Now when I made my original one, I had them put between two mountains, and it's very bulky that way. But you know, it's at the time, it's what I could think of. But like I said, you know, oh, messed up that in there. When you watch other people, you learn new tricks and new techniques, and that's what I hope. Even though this video has been all over the place, I do hope that maybe you've learned something new today. And if you recreate one of these, I'd love to see it. I am starting a group on Facebook. I'll link the name below so you can come and join. And so I can see everything that you guys make. Sorry, my nerves are getting the best of me today for some reason. I know what it is. My husband's home, and I don't usually video when he's home because it makes me nervous. So that's what it is. So just bear with me, guys, okay? All right, last one. You could use glue here, but I don't think I would. I would really recommend it. I just don't know if it would be enough, because these are going to be moved and fold, and the bags are going to be like tugged on a little bit, so you don't really want glue unless it's a really, really strong bond. But I would suggest tape for this, double-sided tape. And if you hear any noises, bless you, Frankie. That's my dog, Frankie. So, okay. And I promise my next tutorial is going to be so much better than this one. All right, so I'm going to burnish down. Okay. Let's bring our book back over. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove the tape in the middle. In the middle where the spines are. And we are going to center that right on the book like this. Okay? So, if you need to make marks, you can. But that's one of the reasons that I start to do in this part on the book, down in the gussets, so you can see where you're going. And I know, I'm like I said, guys, I'm sorry, I'm just nervous today for some reason. I guess being my first tutorial and all, and with him being home, it's making me a little nervous. Like I said earlier, like I'm saying again. I may do a voiceover for this. Who knows? All right, let's see. So you don't have to hear me chat, like jibber jabber on here. Okay. Is it just the ones in the middle? Anyway, I missed one there somewhere. Okay. Now, again, to help make this a little bit easier, if your glue will open, you can go over this just to get that little bit of wiggle room again. And it also helps to secure everything. Okay. And what you're going to do is carefully try to line up those 2/4 score lines. Sorry guys, my dog started barking. Anyway, so you want to make sure that you're even, and then you're going to go ahead and push down on all of your gussets to make sure that they are completely down. There we go. You can use your finger or your bone folder, whichever is easier. Okay. And now once it's down, we're going to remove the other piece backings of the tape. Okay. Move this one down. And if you have a little bit of adhesive showing, it doesn't matter. It's going to get covered up anyway. So don't worry about that. I'll do this side. One more. Come on. There we go. Okay. And down on that side. Okay, so now we have our hinges in. And you can work them back and forth just to make sure they get nice and flexible. Okay, next part is our layering pieces for the inside. And these are about 7 1/4 by 4 3/4. I just do a 1/4 of an inch smaller than the chipboard, just to give like an 1/8 inch border. And on this one, what I've done, I'm gonna use this one as the front. I cut this paper just to give a little bit of interest on the inside. And then this bottom is going to be plain. And for this, I usually use glue. Just, it gives you a lot of wiggle room, and you really don't need, unless you want to use tape, that's fine as well. But for this part, I usually just use glue. Like I said, it gives me a little more wiggle room. And it's a lot less stress when you're putting down a piece of paper. Okay. And, whoop, wrong way, see that? I'm gonna take it. And you're going to center it between that score line and the end. There is the top. And now for the bottom piece. And we're almost done, guys. Again, I hope you're sticking with me because this is a fun project to make. Even when the person giving the tutorial is making a mess out of it. But hey, you know, it's all good, right? Okay, once again, we are going to center this. There we go. Okay, the only thing left now is our clear bags. And these, I just buy these on Amazon. I can put a link below in case you're interested in getting the same ones. But the one thing you want to make sure, now these are 5x7. You want to make sure when you're putting them down that the bag is opening on the bottom so that the ceiling part folds over. So what we're going to do is we are going to open our first fin here and take off our tape liner. Now again, just for some wiggle room, you can put some glue. So again, just gives you that little bit of wiggle room. Make sure the opening is at the bottom. And then you're going to take your envelope, your clear bag. And you can also use policy envelopes for this. You just put them in upside down. That would be interesting. Just try to line these up the best that you can to get them straight. And then put the other fin over top. And there is our first page, all ready to be filled with goodies. Now, if you want to, you can use double-sided paper, so you don't see that little bit of white inside. But to me, it doesn't really bother me because it's going to be held this way, and they're really not going to see that. So let's do our next one. Okay, we're taking off the tape liner. Now, I am planning on this one. Let's see, make sure my opening, where is it? At the bottom. This that I'm making now, I'm getting close to 100 subscribers. So what I would like to do, mine missed there, is this is going to be a giveaway when I reach 100 subscribers. And it will be filled with goodies. So that would be coming up, information on that a little bit later. But this is going to be the or one of the prizes. So, because I mean, it's just amazing that all of you are interested in seeing what I'm doing. It just makes me very happy. So, and I just want to say thank you. Okay, we're on the third one. And if they're not in there perfect, if they're scrunched, it's okay, because if it were perfect, it'd be machine made. I mean, you know. So, okay, my opening is at the bottom. Again, I'm going to add some glue. Try to line this one up good. The reason I sized this the way that I did, one was for the size of my bags, but I also sized it. My glue is going to dry clear, so if you see any, it's not going to really make a difference. This was made to fit into a small Priority Mail flat rate box. Okay, my opening is at the bottom. That's why it is this size. So, because mailing, like postal rates are getting ridiculous. So, as long as it'll fit in one of those, or like, geez Louise, or a bubble mailer. I think it's about $8 to mail either one. But, okay, last one. Okay. Sorry guys, my allergies are acting up really bad. I apologize. Last bag. There we go. There's everything ready to be filled. All nice and pretty. See? From this side. Okay, now to decorate it, because you have this rough edge, you can either use, you can cut this like an inch bigger, and you can use a border punch around the sides, but I have some of this gorgeous, gorgeous lace that I got at Hobby Lobby, and just look at that. Let me see if I can get it up here. It is just beautiful. So I'm going to use this as a decoration, but let's see. I know I cut a little bit long now. A lot of it long. Okay. I'm going to kind of cut it. You know, I'm actually going, okay, let's do it this way. This is the easiest way for me to do it. I'm going to cut it in half. Right down the middle. Just kind of cut as close as I can. Now you can use ribbon, you can use anything that you have to decorate this with. I'm just kind of going with the florally theme. I just think the lace will be really, really pretty. Okay, let me see. Cut my little nubs here off. Actually, you know what? They're going to be covered. Doesn't matter. But this side, I do want to cut them off because that's very large here. They're very long. And one tip, which I'm sure most of you know, if you have fabric scissors, don't use them on paper. Just use them for fabrics and lace and things like that, because the paper will dull them so bad. So, come on. Nerves, can you tell? Just a little bit. It's also why my rambling. Okay, put that aside. To attach this, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. It works a lot better on lace than just regular glue does. So I'm going to put the glue. Get that to come down here. Then I'm just going to run my Fabri-Tac right along the seam. Just a little bit. You don't need a lot. Let's see. I'm going to center this. There. Yep. Okay. There, and then I'm just going to cut the excess off. Oops, sorry guys, I'm getting out of frame here a little bit. I apologize for that. This is a little bit awkward to cut. I love this lace. It is so pretty. And it really wasn't that much. I think I got it when it was on sale. So I only paid like a couple dollars a yard. Wasn't bad. Okay. And to cover that seam up, I have this really thin green ribbon that I'm going to put over here. So just a little more Fabri-Tac right over the lace. Okay. And if you want to use lace and don't have this exact lace, that's not a problem. You can use any kind that you have on hand. Okay, let me trim that. Yeah, let me get my smaller scissors. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to reach in front of you. Okay. It's better for the little snips. Okay. And I always keep a towel handy for extra glue seepage to wipe it away. Okay, while that's drying, let me turn it over and do the same on the back. Okay. I mean, you could even use like paper lace or paper edging that you cut out with a die or a punch or a Cricut. Anything that you would like to just to cover the border, make it look a little extra special. I just love this lace. I think it's gorgeous. Okay. Now this side, I'm going to put the ribbon down as well. Let me see. Just a little bit of glue. Again, sorry I'm sniffling. It's my allergies. They're really starting to act up. Press that down. Okay. And because this is the back, that's all I'm really going to do to it. Just a little, just that little bit. Okay. But now on the front, let me even this out just a little bit here. It is an awkward angle. Okay. I've got that on. Now, if you have some extra glue that kind of seeped out that you didn't get, these erasers are phenomenal. The adhesive erasers, you just run it down and it picks up everything. But I'm going to wait till it's a little more dry, but you can see it's already pulled some of it off. So it feels like the sole of a shoe, actually. Okay, now on this, to finish, I'm going to glue the lace down a little bit. Not completely, just a little bit. Just in a couple spaces, just little spots. Okay, just to kind of hold it down. And I'll go back and do that on the back as well. Okay, then I have some gems I was going to use, just a little more oomph to it. So let's see. When I put down like sticky gems, I always put a little bit of glue. It's just that little bit of reassurance that it's going to stay down, hopefully. Okay, I'm just going to use this lighter pink one. And I just got these at Walmart. Then it was like 97 cents for the sheet, and there's like 3 different shades of pink, so I like it. 3 shades and 3 sizes. Oh, okay, well, if it doesn't attach to your finger and pull away, there you go. Let's get that on there. This is like a blooper reel, isn't it? Okay. There's those 2. Then one in the center. Okay. And I found in the collection that I used, I found this cut apart, and I just backed it on a little piece of darker cardstock from the set. I think I'm just going to put that like right there, or I think I'll put it up higher. There you go, like right there. Just a little something. I'm just going to use regular glue for this one. And sorry, I believe I shook my camera again. Okay. I'm actually going to put it under the lace a little bit. There we go. And maybe to go with the little rhinestones, maybe I'll put the smaller ones, like one in each corner here. Just to kind of tie it all in together. And we are almost done. We're right at the finish line here, people. Okay. Stay down there, little dude. There you go. Okay, let's see. Okay. Just 2 more little gems here. If they will stay. I've got glue on my finger, that's why it seems to want to, it's sticking to it. All right. And this completes it right here. And there is our embellishment book number 1. Front, from the back, and from the sides. All ready to fill. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you stayed with me, please subscribe to my channel. Hit like on this video because it will help me grow my channel. And be sure to click the little bell so you know every time I upload a video. Thanks. See you in the next one.